Hey friends, welcome in or welcome back to the channel. This is Miss Tarot, and today we have not a pick a card reading. I am going to do a general reading for the collective when it comes to this new season, August and Leo season, okay? Leo is always a super fun season to read. I know many Leos, and they are I don't want to say the craziest, but they are just the most dynamic people sometimes I have ever met. And I'm a Gemini, for heaven's sake. So let's kind of just get going into your reading, and we'll see what we are in store for the month of August / Leo season, okay? We just entered Leo season, didn't we? Okay, so we have mending, chop wood, peace, and a leg up. And that's kind of crazy because the last reading I did using this oracle deck, a couple of these came out. So what are we looking at for this particular month of August? Well, first of all, it looks like there's a little bit of work putting in. I do get the sense that you know what, hold on, scratch everything. Let's go back. Let's look at let's go left to right. So we have the mending card here, which is number 52, and that reduces to 7. Sevens, of course, are beautiful lucky symbols, but also they are kind of about, putting in a little bit of work when it comes to, kind of similarly to chop wood here, actually, where chop wood is kind of about putting in the work and getting things done. The mending piece is kind of repairing, right? I think when it comes to the mending, kind of the main reading, if I can just not stutter the rest of the day, that would be great, is kind of making amends. It's healing energy. It's whether or not you've had difficulty with another one, it's more about kind of letting things go, in terms of just kind of like getting rid of these unwanted burdens, because, things happen and they really do keep us kind of chained in an energy that we do not want. And sometimes it's pain, sometimes it's past memories, resentments, that sort of thing. And I do think that there's going to be a significant opportunity for you this Leo season / August, for you to kind of repair that quite a bit. Only you are going to know what you need to repair, and possibly with who. And maybe it's not a who, maybe it's just yourself. But this is kind of, chop wood is about being grounded in everyday experiences. It's humility. It's that mundane act of putting in very basic work, kind of like tending a garden. It's slow and steady, and it is going to be something that is going to take some time, but you reap the rewards, and at the same time, it brings you a huge sense of peace, right? I personally am not a gardener, but I do have several potted plants because I'm not super great at gardening, but there is a certain level of peace that you achieve by just doing the simple tasks of taking care of plants, taking care of the earth, taking care of your home. It doesn't always have to be one of those super stressful things. And it's kind of just being grounded in the act, and realizing that, there's kind of a deeper purpose to it, right? It's those little acts that you have a big impact, okay? And whether you see it or not is kind of the sense that I'm getting. So, whatever it is that you're mending, could be within yourself, could be relationship with others. It does look like you are going to have to, I'm going to give us a little light here, a little bit more light, thank you. You're going to have to kind of go through the motions and really tend your own garden in terms of doing the small itty bitty work to kind of repair the damage, kind of like mending in general. Again, I'm not a good sewer, but mending is very kind of, it's small movements, it's painstaking, but it's repetitive, right? It's just basic little tasks over and over and over again that are going to get you to the big picture of having something completely fixed, right? Okay. And then we have peace. We come to the lovely peace card, which is reduced to the level 5. Oh my gosh, I am just not in the zone today. But basically, that's a lot of freedom from attachment. That is acceptance. That is, you know, having a quiet mind. That's being free from worry. That's free from the burdens. It's harmony. It's everything in balance. If this was the temperance card, you know, if this was going to be a card, I would probably say it would be the temperance card. It's a lot of prosperity in the fact that you are able to see your work and how you are creating prosperity. Kind of remember what we were saying with the chop wood and the mending. Okay. And then we come to leg up. All right. And leg up is kind of how it is. I think that with this particular card, it's cute in the fact that there's a couple little polar bears and the mama's giving the little baby kind of a leg up and giving him a ride. She knows that, you know, this is what he needs in the moment. It's interdependence, and this might be kind of go along with if it's somebody that you need to mend this rift with, or in order to achieve harmony. You may be the one that's going to have to reach out and give this person the leg up to kind of meet you halfway, right? You've come to a point where, you know, going it alone and dealing with this on your own is not really an option for you. So help's gonna have to come from somewhere, and you more than likely are gonna have to reach out to this person. That was the first sense that I got, is that you're kind of like the big mama bear, and it's, you know, relationships are healthy. They do thrive on a lot of interdependence. It's a give and take, and you have to let other people support you just as much as you are there for them. But it's also about, you know, being vulnerable and speaking up for yourself. So definitely take all those into consideration when it comes to what is happening in Leo season. Okay, so let's take a look and see if we can get a little bit more. That was a basic overview, but let's go ahead and get a little bit of information from the tarot and see if we can get some more clarification, okay? And again, the oracle cards you have in front of you, that's the wisdom of the oracle. We are going to use the Baroque tarot cards. I haven't used these in quite some time, and I love these, but I just noticed they're kind of stiff. They're a little stiff today. Okay. What do we got for the collective when it comes to Leo season? Okay, that's enough to start, and let's see what we got here. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, the spark, right? We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Four of Cups. This makes more sense to me. Here we go. We have the King of Swords at the center of the reading. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles. And I want one more. Can I have one more? If anything, just for symmetry. The Magician. Okay. Creating. Lots of creating and a lot of stability and kind of structure in here. Okay, so here's what we are looking at for Leo season. So not only are you going to be reaching out to someone, or someone's going to be reaching out to you to kind of repair this rift in between you, you're going to have to really be open to what this person has to say. I think that there's a huge kind of opportunity. There's a spark here that is going to really kind of ignite or repair a significant relationship between you and another person. And you're just going to have to kind of be open and very open-minded, and at least hear them out as to what they have to say. I do think that both of you, if this is a person that you're dealing with, are very similar in energy. We have the King and Queen of Swords here, and the King of Swords being at the center of the reading, I do think that this is you and what you bring to the reading. And where we have the King of Swords, I don't know if you're a particularly kind of stubborn person, but the King of Swords can be pretty direct, pretty stubborn, can be kind of be oh, what is it called? Like no filter, you know, but also brings great clarity and great strength, but sometimes doesn't know how to utilize that in a I don't want to say a practical way, but in a way that makes sense for somebody who is a little bit more feelings and emotionally centered. Okay. I do think that there is a little bit of a balance that's going to have to be struck in between being so direct and also being a little bit more considerate and caring, but still clear in your messaging. I think that you're going to have to kind of, if this was a falling out or an issue about over something to where it was kind of like a violation of boundaries, or either upon yourself or you violating their boundaries, I really think that there's going to have to be a very frank and open conversation, honest conversation that is going to have to be had between you two. But at the same time, I think that this is going to go a long way to kind of repair a lot of hurt feelings, and maybe, I don't even want to say hurt feelings, it's just kind of lingering bad energy, it just like almost like avoidance with each other. And this also might not be, when I say you know, relationships, this might also be something to do with your work. We have a significant amount of pentacles here, so this could be home or work as well. So if there's somebody at home that you've been kind of having a little bit of a feud with, I think this is it's time to clear the air, essentially. And this could also be something related to your work environment. If there is somebody who has been very overbearing to you right now, it's kind of now is the appropriate time for you to, like I talked about with boundaries, to kind of set your boundaries and have a very frank and open conversation about what that is going to look like, and just to kind of clear the air. Because with the sword energy here, it's all about, you know, just it's clarity. It's swords are swift moving, action oriented type energy, where it doesn't leave much to interpret, right? It's extremely clear and concise. But also be careful with that, in the fact that words can actually be very, very harmful, and once they're out, they cannot come back. So really take a moment to think about what is going to, and I think that's why the Ace of Wands here is really take a lot of time, thought, energy, and creativity in how you want to approach this issue, and move forward with the best intentions in terms of being able to get your point across, but being very mindful of how your message may be taken or not taken. Okay. Because it is going to be, with the Four of Cups here, I do think that this person is going to feel like what you're offering may not be the best solution, but you are going to be able to win them over in that sense. We have the Magician card here, which is a lot about, you know, creating magic and kind of you know, manifesting this wonderful creative co-creator type energy. And I think that this, I don't want to say that this mending issue is going to be kind of miraculous, but I do think that miraculously you're going to be able to find the words and the ability to kind of navigate this kind of ticklish situation in order to really change this and alchemize it for the better, because I really think that's kind of what the Magician is trying to signify here. Let's get a little bit more information, and we'll probably wrap up with like a little bit of advice as well. What can you tell us about, really? Okay, you're a flipper. I see you. Okay, and I think that is enough. Okay, so we have the High Priestess. Yes. Okay, the incense is getting right into my nose. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Three of Wands. We have the beautiful Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Ah, yes, we have the Nine of Cups. And then, of course, I'm just going to kind of slide. Can I just put you here? Yeah, that's fine. So that everybody can see everything. Judgment, okay, kind of an awakening coming. Yes, I think so. So Nine of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Judgment, Queen of Cups, and the High Priestess. So what are we going to make of that? Well, first of all, I'm going to kind of shrink this view just a little bit so that you can see the rest of the reading. There we go. But right away, my first thought for you is going to be about, with the Six of Pentacles, this is going to have to be kind of a give and take. But at the same time, I think you're going to have to be the bigger person. You might be the older and wiser person when it comes to this as well, especially with the High Priestess here. I kind of think that you have a lot more of the maturity and ability and wisdom to kind of move through this particular issue. And there's going to be a lot of emotional repair. Like there's going to be a little bit more of an emotional connection, kind of like this person's going to really kind of snap out of whatever it is, that kind of funk that they have been in regarding you or whatever situation. You could be also awakening to the situation in the fact that maybe that it's not really worth the battle to you anymore and it's time to kind of move on. I do think that this might be a work-related issue for a lot of you. Maybe it's a toxic work environment. Maybe it's a coworker that's, that you have been friends with, and now maybe the relationship has turned sour and it's not really a good environment for you anymore. But you really need to regain your happiness. And the only way that you are going to be able to do that this month in August is really to kind of take the bull by the horns. Okay. You're going to have to really step up and utilize a lot of your own kind of, I don't want to say your own wisdom, because that's a really not a really concise way of saying what I want. It's more than that. It's your experience. It's also your own internal wisdom, but it's more of really tapping into, and intuition's not right either, but really being able to see the issue for what it is and cut the emotion out of it and have a very logical, clear look at the situation and kind of say, if this was somebody I knew who was bringing this problem to me, what would my advice be to them? Kind of remove yourself from the situation and kind of zoom out and say, okay, how does this look like it's going to affect me? Look at it from all the angles and then kind of make an informed decision based on that. But I do think that either way you're going to go, there is going to be another opportunity that is going to come out of this relationship. So you could really, mend and bring things back together. And I do see possibly another opportunity opening up because of that. I don't know if it's just because you're going to have to be the bigger person and, you're the mature one and you're the one that it chooses to kind of move on into, bigger and better things and kind of leave this behind because it's not a part of your growth. It's really hard to say, but there's going to have to be a balancing act in here, and you're really going to have to give a significant amount before you are able to move through this energy of kind of like repair and just old bad energy that needs to be cleared. Right? And the person who's going to possibly be able to give you that heads up is possibly, you know, almost, I don't want to say like a third party intermediary type person, a mediator kind of came into my mind, like a neutral third party. I don't, you know, in work environments, it's like you sit down with HR or you sit down with a manager between you and like another person and kind of, you know, talk it out. I think that there's some sort of involvement here where there's going to have to be, it could be a court. I mean, honestly, I don't want to like freak anybody out, but if that applies to you and you know where this is headed, then cool, you know, it resonates. That's awesome. But for the most part, for the majority of you, I do think that you are going to have to be the one that's going to be the generous one, the one that is going to preserve your own peace for the sake, and being the bigger person for the sake of letting this go, right? So I do think a lot of August is going to have a lot to do with healing and repair. You know, it's funny, August and Leo season is usually all about kind of like fun, party energy, and I don't see any fun party energy here for you. I think that this is going to be, not a chaotic month for you at all. It's actually going to be pretty mundane, but this energy that you have been living in terms of kind of feeling like you really need to repair this relationship or repair something within your workplace, or, I mean, there's many different relationships that you could possibly have, right? It really, only you will know what that is, but, whatever it is, you are going to be able to at least move through this energy in order to bring yourself peace. You are going to have that awakening that it is now up to you. You can't just sit idly by and let, you know, time go by and see if time's going to heal these wounds, because it's not. I think, like I said before, you're going to have to take the bull by the horns and really be the one to reach out and be the generous and benevolent one, actually, because I do get the sense that that is kind of who you are. There's a lot of like clear, concise, mature, older, wiser, just energy going on here. And sometimes when it comes to fixing things, it's not even admitting that you're wrong. It's just apologizing for the lack of understanding and mutual understanding, and then just saying, I agree to disagree, and move through it. But either way, you are going to find peace this month of August when it comes to whatever this funny little message, but this funny little issue is for you. So let's get a couple, singular messages to kind of just round out the reading. And I was going to grab this deck, and all of a sudden it went a little crazy. So we are going to use, oh my goodness, if I can pop it out. We're going to use the Angel Power Wisdom card, because I haven't used these in quite some time, and I miss getting the angels. Okay, so we have, a sunrise, a surprise is on the horizon. Expect a nice surprise. So, hey, that's always nice to see. I don't know what that has anything to do with this, but in terms of your moving forward on this, maybe that's the lovely surprise that you're going to be getting. And I do think that's kind of like what the Judgment card usually can speak to sometimes too, is kind of like, it's an awakening. It is kind of a surprise. You're all of a sudden, you know, the trumpets are coming out of nowhere and just like, okay, it's time to go type of thing. So that is everything I have for you today for Leo season / August. So if this reading resonated with you, please take a moment to like and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more readings. I'll have my typical weekly week ahead bite-size reading coming out this Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. But other than that, I will see you next week with a brand new reading, and we'll probably go back to the pick a card format. But I just wanted to do a general message for the collective for this one, so we'll go back to the normal ones. Thank you for being here, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.